Alright folks, it's been a while. I've been extremely busy, but so have Hot Toys apparently. So in this video we're going to take a look at this two original trilogies announced. Two original trilogy figures announced in the 1 week. This and this. Let's get started. Hi everyone and welcome to 1/6 Figure Focus, and in this video, as I stated in the intro, we have a lot to talk about. So this week, Hot Toys announced not one but two original trilogy 1/6 scale figures. We've got the Snowtrooper Commander from Empire Strikes Back, the greatest Star Wars movie ever made. And of course we have Leia Boushh. I don't know how to pronounce this. Boushh. I just don't know. I think it's Boushh, but then some people say Boushh. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, anyway, they have this version of Leia Organa, the disguised version from Return of the Jedi. And I don't think my thoughts on this head sculpt are going to be exactly the same as what I've seen online and what I've seen in streams and videos and stuff like that. I think it's really, really good, but I don't think it's 100%. Well, what's 100%? Okay, to be fair, I don't think it's shrink ray, as the collecting weekly guys would say. Shout out to them. This looks incredible, and this, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, folks. I pre-ordered this today. I'm actually gonna start with this one. So I'm gonna quickly get the I need to get the sideshow information up. We get sideshow going here. Come on. All right. I want to just get the details on this. There's two different versions of this. So what basically what is this is the we are going to take a look at these. Don't worry. Where is this? Sorry folks, I saw a message pop up and I want to make sure it doesn't pop up here because I have to edit it out. All right, so this is as in this thing here. We're going to take a look at the blogger photos. Just give me a second. So Batman armored 2.0. Would it pick it up? It does. Brilliant. Well, it did, and then it disappeared. Sideshow sucks. Alright, so yeah, there's two different versions of this. So what you're looking at, this is obviously the Hot Toys 1/6 scale, newly announced. So these are the blogger photos, but I'm going to go through, sorry, these are the prototype images, but I'm going to go through the announcement. Collector edition and deluxe version. You know what, I gotta switch this over. Just bear with me here because I want to give this in dollars because most of my audience is American, and they dollars is the thing. What is all this crap? This is really annoying me. Sideshow are just like, why are they changing everything? This is stupid. This is so stupid. This is not what I want to look at. I don't care about your deal, Sideshow. Just give me, where's the Hot Toys? So this is like the worst video ever. Anyway, how are you? Right, okay, filters. This will work. Newest. I should go by oldest, actually, shouldn't I? Oldest. Do we have this? Where is this? Oldest? Newest? Okay, great. I'm just going to whittle this down. This is annoying because it doesn't usually work like this, but anyway. Okay, Batman. Right, Batman. And then, right, let's have a look through. So, it's from BVS. There we are. Yeah, sorry. That took way. I apologize. So, I want to just, this is the Hot Toys 1/6 scale BVS Armored Batman 2.0 from obviously Batman vs Superman Dawn of Justice and all that. This is, I heard a lot of people online saying this is a 2.0, and it's kind of a 4.0 if you think about it, because they made this figure, I believe, the clean version without the swap out battle damage parts. Then they made the black chrome version, which is another one. Then there was a Toy Fair exclusive, which was battle damage, which you didn't get the clean parts. I actually had that, and then I sold it, and I'll explain why. And then you have this version. I think this is obviously the one to get. Just off the top of my head, you have the battle damaged and clean swap out parts. You have die cast parts. You have improved sculpt, and they actually made a significant, I think, difference between the prototype image on one of the mouthpieces. I think it's the one that comes with the battle damage part, and what you actually got released. It's more of a better likeness to Ben Affleck. The base is pretty cool, although it has the same issue where you can't really stand the figure on it properly. Or, well, you can, but you're limited in the floor space that you have, and therefore limited in the poses you want. It's a base. It has one function. Let the figure stand on it. Okay, make them a little bit bigger, do you know? But then one of the trump cards here is that it's USB powered. Not just the the mask, though, obviously the battle damaged mask doesn't light up because one of the eyes is completely gone. You can see Ben Affleck's actual eye, which has the rolling eyeballs feature, but then the other one, actually you can see his eye because it's damaged. But the regular clean mask, or cowl, whatever you want to call it, helmet, does light up via USB, and the kryptonite spear lights up if you get the deluxe version, because the kryptonite spear doesn't actually come with the regular version. Anyway, so the deluxe version is 370, and I believe the regular version is 330. That's what I wanted to just explain with that. Yeah, let's take a look at the blogger images. By the way, just, you know, I think it is worth actually just clicking into this, and if I go to the collector edition, which I believe this is 330, and just skip all the way to the end, I just want to make sure I'm explaining what to the die-cast parts. I like that. So the helmet is die-cast, the torso, the shoulder pads, the boots. Okay, now where is the thing I'm looking for? Apologies for quick interruption to this video. If you're watching this video right now, hit the like button, and more importantly, hit the subscribe button. It really helps me grow the channel, and the support is greatly appreciated. Back to the video. This is the one. Okay, brilliant. Just want to zoom in on this. The deluxe version exclusives comes with the LED kryptonite spear powered by USB, so it's not just the helmet. See the helmet on the left here? With the, you know, the non-battle damaged helmet. Yeah, it has a few scrapes and scuffing, but it's not as battle damaged on the right. On the right, you can see the Ben Affleck sculpt underneath it. That is the prototype image. We're going to look at the blogger images. That doesn't look as much like Ben Affleck. I believe they've changed it, and what actually gets released is better expression and looks more like Ben Affleck. So there's no light up function on the right, but on the left you have a light up function powered by USB that connects in, and the kryptonite spear which comes with this, which is exclusive to the deluxe version, also USB powered. That's excellent. And I think between the cape and just the color of this outfit, I think those wires are going to be easy to hide. To hide. And the battle damaged armor and the battle damaged helmet are also unique to the deluxe. It's deluxe or bust here, I think, folks. All right, we're going to get rid of this, and we are going to look at the blogger images because they are stunning. Now, before I look at them, I am not the biggest Snyder. I'm not a Snyderverse fan. Okay, I think that maybe, no, I think I'm. If there was two kind of spectrums, not a Snyderverse fan, a lover of Snyderverse, I think I'd be not even in the middle. I think I'd be more to, I don't think the DCU is good, to be honest. However, it's aging like wine, especially considering what James Gunn is doing, which is shite. I've just no time for that Superman movie. The second Peacemaker season was fine. It's just not, Superman just, I thought it was a bad movie. It's not doing it for me. So Man of Steel, I really enjoyed. Solid movie, 3 stars out of 5. Good movie. I wouldn't call it an excellent movie. Good, but I always enjoy it. Cavill carries it. He is he's fantastic in the role. He's born to play the role. He looks the part. His the action scenes are great. Even the parts before he gets a suit are great, and I actually love the suit. To be fair, I love the suit in Man of Steel, BVS, and Justice League as they get progressively brighter. Very, very cool. BVS, when I first saw it, absolutely just hated it, and I still say I wouldn't say it's a good movie. I don't think BVS is a good movie. However, there are parts of it which I think are great, and parts of it are really well done. I'm a big fan of the Dark Knight Returns graphic novel, and obviously Dark Knight Returns heavily influenced BVS, and they directly lifted some of the things. For example, the fight scene at the end between Batman and Superman, which I think they've done a great version of taking what's in the comic, running it through like a reality filter, and giving that kind of like science fiction meets Batman suit. This armored suit on screen, it was an absolute juggernaut. It looked incredible. Even if you hated the movie, it's pretty damn cool. So I wanted, as much as I'm not a Snyderverse fan, I really liked Henry Cavill in the role of Superman, so it made BVS watchable. And I wanted a Superman figure in my collection, and I lean more towards Cavill than I do towards, say, like a Reeve and all that. So I picked up the Justice League, Hot Toys Justice League Superman, even though I thought the Justice League, I did not like that. Didn't like the first cut, didn't like the Snyder cut, not for me. Picked it up, not a perfect figure, it was solid, but I thought like things could be better, like the head sculpt could be a little bit better. I thought the proportion, the thighs were huge, I didn't particularly care for the base either. As soon as I saw the in-art BVS one, sorry, I'm skipping a step here. To kind of pair with that, even though I wasn't a big fan of BVS, I did like the scene when the boys eventually start fighting. Okay, the whole point of the movie, Batman versus Superman. You want to see them fight. How is Bruce Wayne, a mere man with no superpowers, Batman, whatever, going to tackle a god? And they did it quite well. They set it up quite well. The fight was good. Sometimes I just watched that clip, those scenes. It was bloody good. So eventually, long story short, I got the armored Batman, the battle damaged one. Okay, the battle damaged Toy Fair exclusive one. Fantastic figure. In-art release, put up the prototype images, put up their for pre-order their in-art BVS Superman. Blows the Hot Toys one out of the water. It's the best, say, mass-produced 1/6 scale Henry Cavill Superman out there. So I sold my Justice League one, put a pre-order down for BVS. I picked up BVS, and I swear to God, it is one of the most captivating figures in my collection. It just commands your attention. The body proportions, the head sculpt, the dynamic cape. It's kind of the figure that made me appreciate dynamic capes. I'm a drape cape kind of guy, but it's just such a beautiful cape. The magnetic base, pure class. So I had that, and I still had the Hot Toys Toy Fair exclusive battle damage version of what you see on the screen. And then this goes up for pre-order. And at the time, I had the movie icons display. I had Superman, but I had I think it was either the Dark Knight, the DX19, and the in-art Heath Ledger Joker in the movie icons display, and I didn't want to have another Batman. So I kind of bought the battle damage version of this to pair with the BVS Henry Cavill Superman. But in the movie icons displayed, I wanted Superman, but I didn't want two Batmans. So I boxed this up. I just wasn't displaying it at the time. And then bang, Hot Toys put up the prototype images for this and this for pre-order. And I said, you know what? I'm going to sell what I'm not displaying. The Hot Toys Toy Fair exclusive battle damage version, the previous one of this. And I'm just going to wait and see how this turns out. And that will be the kind of straw that breaks the camel's back. Because if it turns out poor, I'd be like, you know what? I'm not the biggest BVS fan. I could do without this. However, they've absolutely killed this. This is a 2.0 that is incredible. It's the USB powered helmet and spear. There's the base. Yes, the floor space isn't great, but it's still a nice base. And I think for the pose that I'm going to put him in, because this guy isn't going to be doing backflips, let's face it, the articulation, this is not going to be great. You'll have enough to add a bit of nuance to your pose, but I don't think that'll matter. I do like the base. You know, it's not amazing. It's not like one of my favorite bases or anything like that, but it's pretty solid. The likeness to Ben Affleck is good. You have the battle damaged and swap out parts. Love that. And you've got the die-cast components. Yeah, this is one to watch. So I put a pre-order on this today. Well, it's not really a pre-order. I bought it. I sent the money to Lion Rock Toys. This was not on pre-order. I was waiting to see how it turned out, but I'm really looking forward to posing this next to the in-art Superman, and I'm going to have this lit up absolutely. Okay. Like on the left, this already looks. This is. I think this is the Justice League one on the right, and it already looks completely dated compared to this one on the left. And it's not a terrible figure, the one on the right, but that seem. Now, the inner one has a seam very similar, but this seems a lot more obnoxious, and the likeness is not as good on this as the and the suit isn't good, and the proportions aren't good. The inner figure is just a lot better, but this is an old Hot Toys figure, so it's only a matter of time before they give us a BVS Cavill or something like that. Okay, so flicking through some of them, looks fine there. Nothing to write home about. This image is incredible. This Ultra Ben one, that is like straight out of the movie. You can kind of see the shine in the die cast there. So the die cast parts, I believe, are the helmets. I think both helmets. The torso part, I'd imagine both parts. The shoulder pads and the boots. I like the way the gauntlet here is damaged. This left gauntlet. It's not just the gauntlet, but the kind of the blades he has. The kind of more copper, kind of gold blades. They're broken as well. You can see the sculpt is definitely a lot more toothy. Yeah, you can really see it there. And of course, you're going to get I think it's separate rolling eyeballs in there as well. I'd imagine you can see the two eyeballs, so surely the both of them are separate rolling eyeballs. That looks good. Even that's a clean. To be honest, like I'm a battle damaged person. I like the weathered, you know, scratched up bullet holes, battle damage, and all that kind of stuff. But I think because this is USB powered, and I think my initial pose is gonna be him posed, lit up, with all the clean parts on, lit up with the spear in the hand or something like that. Yeah, this looks pretty good. So that's, you have the grappling hook. Comes with a good bit as well. You got if you get the deluxe, you've got the spear, the kryptonite spear that lights up via USB. This here is the grapnel that he has. He uses, I think, twice in the scenes. He uses it once to he throws Superman onto this kind of like window type thing. Then he jumps on top of him, and he uses this to kind of abseil down, you know, and then he used the swing Superman around the place as well. You got the kryptonite spear, obviously, and you got the gun as well. The kryptonite, it fires the kryptonite kind of gas canisters. Yeah, I'm really glad I ordered this. Now, the base, I'm going to keep my pose very simple. It's actually the pose I was using. It's a very simple character pose. Very imposing, commands a lot of presence, and it was one I ripped off from How to Be a Poser, the guy from Sideshow, or not sure if he's still working with Sideshow. Is it Terry? Yeah, he did those kind of really good. He's well able to pose the figures, so that's what I'm gonna go with. So yeah, that looks like a movie still. Yeah, so it's at BG_toy art. That looks like a movie still. Yeah, look, this turned out great. This is an example of a good 2.0. There's enough for the upgrades when you take into account the USB powered helmet, eyes, and kryptonite spear. The proportions, the battle damage clean and swap out parts, the die cast nature of it, the base. Yeah, so like this is, what can I say? It won me over, and I'm really looking forward to having this pose next to In-Art Superman. Okay, the next one. So this one, definitely coming home. It's been ordered. This one here is one of the ones that, like, I have to be clever. I have the Ultimate Wolverine now. I've got that Hugh Jackman, Deadpool and Wolverine, yellow and blue deluxe version, so I can have him head to toe with the yellow and blue masked up. I can have him with the arms showing. I can have him with the head sculpt showing, or any sort of permutation of that. And look, this is going to be a banger as well. It's just a secondary look. Now, just a few things on this. Like, this originally, this went up a pre-order. I'll show you the Zord photography photos because you want to see. This is actually, you can take the top off and you see his physique. They've done a fantastic job with the body in the same way they did a fantastic job with those seamless, sleeveless arms for the yellow and blue one. Head sculpt is great. I think it's the same head sculpt. The hair actually looks a bit funny there. It looks a bit soft and plasticky there, but I do think that's lighting. Actually, we see that later on some of the shots with Leia, and I have this in hand. Well, I think it's the same head sculpt. It looks like the same head sculpt, only this one's battle damaged. From what I can tell anyway. The sculpted hair on that yellow and blue Wolverine is fantastic. So I love the jacket. I don't like the TVA. Reminds me of the Loki show. I did not like them. Actually, to be honest, I wasn't gone on the TVA villain on this. I thought it was a bit goofy, but yeah, I like that style of jacket. Actually, I'd wear that jacket. So I love that they've really gone ham on the weathering here. I think that it's actually more weathered than the prototype. Usually you see the prototypes for these battle damaged weathered figures, and then it softens and it's not as dirty and battle damaged and weathered when you get it in hand or get the final product release. But here, in my mind's eye anyway, it was weathered in the prototype, but the battle damage and weathering seems more obvious. Don't like that wrist peg on the right. I'll come back to them later on. That is not the best angle for the fit of that jacket. I think it actually fits a little bit better than that. It's just no, that's cool. I like that. I like the pose. I love the pose there. That's something I consider. Only I'd zip the jacket down maybe all the way, or have it kind of half open. You have to show off the physique. Hugh Jackman, absolute unit. The amount of time and effort he had to put in to get that physique, especially, you know, he's no spring chicken. He is an older gentleman now, and he's still doing it. The discipline, the time in the gym, the watching his eating, just hats off. He's like a bloody athlete. So, and they've nailed it. Look, they've recreated that body. You'll see now in the Zord photography images, because this went up for pre-order. The whole thing was, the main selling point was the actual topless, the physique. And then suddenly all the topless shots disappeared, and people were wondering, what, will the jacket will you not be able to take the jacket off? Are they just going to have some other random body underneath? What's the story? Like, it's kind of false advertising if they don't give you the ability to take off the jacket or whatever. So some of these images from Zord, actually no, all these images from Zord are incredible. Patrick, he just works hard. He's got the, what can I say? He's got the right equipment. He's got the right eye. He's got the classic the kind of grey background. He's well able to pose. He's creative. He's just, can't say enough about him. I'm glad, he's a lovely fella as well. I'm glad he's getting the recognition he deserves. And man, this guy can pose, and this guy can take decent photos, more than decent, great photos. The problem is though, if there's a figure you're on the fence about, you're like, no, I think I need to budget, and it might be, it's a figure I'd like to have, but I don't really need it. You get sucked in here, you know. So this is great the way he's posed it with the cowl on, but I don't know if you're actually able to do that. This might be the cowl from another Wolverine, possibly. Yeah, look, so there's the physique. They've done a great job with this, and like, the first thing I noticed about some other photos are how awkward and bad the seams look, but there's no real way of avoiding that unless they give you, like, I don't know, full-on seamless body. But then you can't swap out the hands if you want, and that has its issues as well. Just the first thing I'm noticing is how well done oh, by the way, I need to finish that sentence. Zord did a fantastic job with what he had here, trying to hide those seams. They're definitely not as obvious here as I've in other photos that I've seen from other photographers. The body is incredible on this. The arms on that on the Deadpool and Wolverine yellow and blue one that I spoke about, which, to be honest, that's probably going to be a figure of the year for the vast majority of people. The arms are incredible. Not just the proportions or the muscularity or the you know, the texture. They've got silicone. They're kind of heavy little vein work and almost like paint to make it look like there's hair on them and stuff like this. They've gone ham on this. They've really taken that and applied it to the whole body. The traps, the pectorals, the chest, like, you know, obliques and all, is like his bloody 8-pack he has here. Fantastic. You need to get all those muscle groups right just in case Eddie's watching. You know, he's a stickler for that. So yeah, he's got the traps and lats and pecs and delts and bloody everything. Fantastic looking. Now, the head sculpt though, I'm not sure in the box will you be able to do this. I don't think you are. I think Zord must have popped on another mask here from maybe a different figure. I'm possibly from the regular release. I'm not entirely sure, but it looks fantastic. And he did actually wear that in the movie. However, he wasn't that scratched up. I don't think he had that battle damage in the movie. He was greased up. He was all like oily and stuff like that at the end of the movie to make it look like sweat and stuff like that, and obviously to highlight his physique. And I think Sean Levy said that was all, at that stage, that was all Hugh Jackman. There was no CGI in his body at that stage. I think in other parts of the movie they CGI'd his arms a bit. This is bloody cool. Like, just the head sculpt of Hugh Jackman, right? The detail on the physique. The fact that they've captured his physique. Again, okay, hats off again to Hugh Jackman for getting into that shape at his age. Incredible. But then, like, this is something I could pose it something like this, but you'd want the blades out. Come on, it's Wolverine. So maybe open the jacket, because then you're still including the jacket. You're showing off most of the physique, but you'd want the blades out. Look at the weathering on the pants as well. Filthy. Really, really good. Love that. Oh, I've gone too far now, but anyway, look, I think I've shown my point there. So on this one here, I'm not going to lie, I want it, but you just can't have everything in this game. And what's more important, the classic yellow and blue look, or this? It's the classic yellow and blue look for me. Even like the John Byrne Brown suit is kind of calling to me as well. The Age of Apocalypse, no interest in, but yeah. So look, this is ordered. This is on the way. This, I think I've just got to sit this one out. Maybe I change your mind in the future and hopefully it doesn't skyrocket in value, but most of them don't tend to do that these days. Okay, big deal. 1 week, 2 original trilogy figures announced. Okay, I'm going to tell you my strategy on this one, and then I'll tell you what I think of the figure. Really quickly, I'm going to adopt the same strategy that I did for the Hot Toys Han Solo. Return of the Jedi Han Solo came out, and I was like, brilliant. I'm going to get this worst case scenario, but I'm not going to pre-order it. Why? Because now, if they've opened the floodgates, there was all this talk that Harrison Ford is awkward with his likeness, and I feel like that's just something that someone says and then everyone repeats it if it's fact. And look, in the 1 year we got like an old man Indy, a Red Hulk from like Captain America 4 or whatever it's called, bad movie, and then bang, out of nowhere, well, not really out of nowhere, we had those two. You have this Han Solo Return of the Jedi announced, and now it's released. I never put the pre-order down. I never got it, because I was like, if they're doing that, maybe they'll do what everyone wants. Empire Strikes Back, Besman Han, again, triple threat from my favorite Star Wars movie. That's the one I want. Plus, I'm going to get that Chewbacca with the C-3PO. It makes more sense to have more figures from Empire Strikes Back. I don't need every single version of Han Solo, but I do need one. And as soon as I saw the Empire Strikes Back prototype images, as soon as I went up for pre-order, it was as good as a day one. So that is on pre-order. And I'm going to adopt the same strategy with this. We have a Leia. This is the best 1/6 scale Hot Toys Leia head sculpt we've seen to date for Carrie Fisher, Princess Leia. And I think it's only a matter of time we get another one. We know, if you're a Star Wars fan, unless you're living under a rock, you know that 2027, which, okay, it's nearly 2026 now, it's just over a year away. That marks the 50th anniversary of Star Wars A New Hope, released in 1977. We know they're going to announce, they're going to have to. There mightn't be an absolute flood of figures, but they might keep it simple. A Vader. A lot of people are going to... Vader sells. Vader sells. I have my Return of the Jedi Vader, so I won't. Fanboy Luke updated. Badly needs an update. That'll probably happen. I'd imagine. I'd be very surprised. I think Darth Vader, Fanboy Luke are certs. And I really do think they're going to give you an updated Princess Leia, A New Hope. That's the one I want. Some Star Wars characters, when it comes to Star Wars, like, there's other IPs people talk about there's other IPs that I prefer more. People talk about the big three, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, and while I appreciate some movies and TV shows within those franchises, I'm more about the big four: Terminator, RoboCop, Alien, Predator. And even a lot of those franchises, they're bloody dead, let's be honest. Terminator, there's 2 movies. Alien, there's 2 movies. Predator, I'd still argue there's probably 2 movies. And my take on that is controversial, because I know a lot of people don't like Prey, but the first movie, Predator, tip top, and then Prey. And then look, I enjoy Killers for what it was. I actually thought Predators was better than I expected to be. RoboCop, there's probably only 1 movie. Although, I'll still watch the second one, but it's batshit crazy. Still getting that cane though. But anyway, back to this. My point is, I don't need every single version of Han Solo. I just need the Empire Strikes Back one. I don't need every version of Leia. I just need the New Hope one. But I really like Hot as well. So it would be A New Hope number 1, then Hot, and then probably this. Anyway, let's take a look at this. I think this is a celebration for original trilogy Star Wars fans. It is a great, it's a great head sculpt. I just don't think it's a shrink ray. So don't hear what I'm not saying. When I say shrink ray, I'm like, okay, this is close to 10 as possible. And I don't really give out 10s that often, because there's always room for improvement somewhere, let's be honest. But if I say shrink ray, again, hats off to the Collecting Weekly boys, that's as close as I'm going to get to 10. Okay? I think this lies somewhere between an 8 or a 9. And from what I've seen in the community, I think a lot of people are saying this is like a perfect head sculpt, or it's, the most amazing head sculpt I've ever seen, or it's a 10 or something like that. And maybe I'm paraphrasing there, but a lot of people said that this was a mind-blowing head sculpt. I think it's really, 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 really strong. I think it's probably 8.5. I wouldn't give it a 10. I don't think it's a shrink ray. I'd say it'd be 8.5, maybe kicking the arse a 9. Okay. Don't like the base, but love everything else. So great scene. Return of the Jedi, just, she goes in with Chewbacca, and we see photos of a Chewbacca later on. I love the helmet on this. I think it's really, really cool. I think this is like, for someone who's in around kind of Carrie Fisher's kind of height and physique at the time, if someone wants to join, the 501st, this is a great cosplay for a female or something like that, if they're a Star Wars fan and they like Princess Leia and stuff like that, and they have that kind of physique to pull this off. I like the kind of the colors on this outfit. It's very, very simple, typical Star Wars, kind of like understated, kind of matte, dark, drab colors. I love the helmet. So you've got the kind of, I'm not sure, that kind of spear, that's not a blaster, I presume. I don't know what that is. It looks kind of like a spear It doesn't look quite spear or blaster, but it looks... I don't know what it is. It's not a blaster, is it? I don't know. Is it something like a cattle prod, you know, for Chewbacca maybe? Yeah, like a bow staff type. Maybe they didn't have the... Probably didn't have the technology back then to add that cattle prod electricity kind of prodding device effect, because I know like Star Wars has a lot of that now, but yeah, what can I say? It's great that it's Princess Leia. It's good that it's not limited. Obviously people have lost their minds if it was. Outfit, mostly material, don't give me too much problems. I've heard there's a belt missing. I was watching Connor Hot Toys Hotline last night, but I'm not an expert in this suit, but they were pointing that out, so maybe they'll fix that. Hopefully they will. Got the terminal detonator there. I think if I did get this, I wouldn't be able to resist the New Hope when they inevitably do a 2.0 on that. I could pose this with the helmet and a New Hope without, but a New Hope in the white dress with the kind of bagels hairdo and that classic blaster. That is an icon. It's a very strong head sculpt. So again, please don't hear what I'm not saying. It's just not a head sculpt that I'm like, this is perfect. I don't know. I can't really point it out. Usually I can kind of pick things out, but I think that she look a little older in Return of the Jedi. The hair sculpt is pretty good. I think the light is actually making it look more plastic than it actually is, to be fair on this. I like the little strands down by the side. I think they got the eyes right, and she did have that, I believe she did have that kind of little bit of makeup there. I think her face was a little bit darker, but then again, Jabba's palace is very dark, but just my initial thoughts on it, they were like, very good head sculpt, very, very strong. I just don't think it's a 10. I'd probably give it maybe about 8.5, maybe 9. You see that photo there? Yeah, I'm bringing it down to about an 8.5. There's no doubt it looks like Princess Leia. It looks like Carrie Fisher in Return of the Jedi, but yeah, that's my score. In and around, somewhere between 8 and a 9. It looks great with Chewie though. And I don't know, is this the Chewie... Is this the Chewie we're getting from Empire and they've just taken C-3PO off? Or is this a different Chewie? The hair maybe looks a bit more ruffled. I'm not entirely sure there. I love the height difference. I love when you have figures posed together like a duo. Like Cassian Andor next to K2SO. That's going to look incredible because he's towers over Andor. Even like I'm looking behind there, I've got Vader, the Return of the Jedi Vader. It looks incredible lit up and stuff like that. Flanked by 2 regular original trilogy stormtroopers. And he's got, you know... Yeah, his entire head is just like towering above them. You got this chain, which I believe she doesn't come with, so maybe they're gonna announce they'll release the Chewie, the Chewie from Empire Strikes Back with the disassembled C-3PO, and then like a month down the line, bang, they're gonna put this up and they'll give the chain with Chewie because they'll want you to buy this. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to get this, and I stand by what I said. This is a good head sculpt. It's very, very strong. Okay, excellent head sculpt. I just don't think it's a shrink rate 10 out of 10. My final score on this would be probably about an 8.5. It's still fair, okay? But yeah, I'm going to wait on this. I'm going to wait. I'm going to do the Han Solo strategy. I'm going to wait, see if they announce what I want, which would be a New Hope Princess Leia, white dress with the bagels and blaster 2.0. So yeah, so far this is coming home. I want this, but I have to resist. I told you my strategy on this. And last but not least, this is a trooper from the Empire. Trooper from Empire Strikes Back original trilogy. I'm a trooper collector, and yeah, I don't have that many original trilogy troopers though. I've got 2 of the original trilogy. Actually, kind of Return of the Jedi stormtroopers, I suppose. With the light up Death Star dioramas, and then I have 1 scout trooper, and the rest of my troopers are kind of like either Mandalorian or Rogue One, and 2 prequels ones. So I kind of need to get this, and I think it's only a matter of time before they reissue 2.0, the actual Snowtroopers. I think I don't need 1 of this. I think this is limited to 3,000. I'm going to see the price and see if I can pick one up, but it'll be just 1. And then the Snowtroopers, see 2 Snowtroopers next to Vader would be pretty damn good, but yeah, I'm going to see if I can pick this one up. It's going to go into trooper display, and yeah, that'll be it. Like, there's other original troopers I need to track down. I have toyed with the idea about just getting rid of non-original trilogy troopers, but I just can't do it because I like the shore troopers and the death troopers too much. Specifically the shore troopers. Even like the only 2 prequels figures in my entire collection, because I don't collect prequels, they're troopers because they're the Cody and that clone pilot are they're just incredible. But yeah, original trilogy takes priority, trumps everything else. Long video, folks, long video. Oh, sorry, I didn't even flick through these photos. How rude. Yeah, it's just not something like that I'll be like incredible. I wouldn't be using the base, to be honest. I think this actually appears again. I know he appears, is it next to Veers, is it? Or I think it's Veers in the AT-AT in the background. And I'd imagine there are in other scenes as well, but I just can't remember. Yeah, see, he's the Stormtrooper Commander on the left, and then you got on the right, you have the kind of weathered look. I heard people kind of say that they didn't like that there wasn't like weathering on this, but he's a commander, he's safe, he's in the AT-AT, and he's letting the grunts do the job. I do prefer the grunts, so it kind of has that more material mask, and there seems to be a bit of chipping and pitting and weathering. I reckon in the background there, it's only a matter of time before the one on the right here, the actual just Snowtrooper, that's what I'm more interested in. It's only a matter of time before they do this. I'd say by the end of the year we'll see an announcement of that, maybe tomorrow. But yeah, I probably will try to track down one of these Snowtroopers, and then inevitably when they do the I will track down one of these Snowtrooper Commanders, and then yeah, I'm going to get the other ones hopefully as well. So that's it, folks, long video. Yeah, if you want to support the channel, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment. Let me know if you're picking up any of these or not. You can also follow me on Instagram. That's it. That's the end of the video. See you next one. Good luck.